What about Enoch? Genesis 5 verse 24 tells us, and Enoch walked with God. I guess that means he didn't walk with God now and then. It just says he walked with God, which suggests that he walked with God all the time. In the midst of a life of active labor, Enoch steadfastly maintained his communion with God. The greater and more pressing his labors, the more constant and earnest were his prayers. He continued to exclude himself at certain periods from all society. After remaining for a time among the people, laboring to benefit them by instruction and example, he would withdraw to spend a season in solitude, hungering and thirsting for that divine knowledge which God alone could impart. Communing thus with God, Enoch came more and more to reflect the divine image. It's already been done. It's just our opportunity to experience that in our time, to experience the very thing that he experienced. His face was radiant with a holy light, even the light which shineth in the face of Jesus. As he came forth from these divine communings, even the ungodly beheld with awe and the impress of heaven upon his countenance. He's not the only one in the Bible that had that experience. But notice this quotation and how it parallels what God's people will have at the end of time. That's you and me, right? Revelation 18, verse 1. After these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great authority, and the earth was what? Enlightened, illuminated. I'm reading from the New King James, I guess. The earth was illuminated or enlightened with his glory. That's you and me. We will light the world with the truth of God at the end of time, just like Enoch brought light to the world in his time. Notice this quotation here. Servants of God. Will that be you and me? Is it you and me? Servants of God, endowed with power from on high, with their faces lighted up and shining with holy consecration, went forth to proclaim the message from heaven. What did these people look like? Endowed with power from on high, with their faces lighted up and shining with holy consecration. You know, I hope that you are seeing in this quotation a picture of what God has planned for each one of us. He has planned this for you. Souls that were scattered all through the religious bodies answered the call, and the precious were hurried out of the doomed churches, as Lot was hurried out of Sodom before its destruction. God's people were strengthened by the excellent glory which rested upon them in rich abundance and prepared them to endure the hour of temptation. I heard everywhere a multitude of voices saying, "Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus."